Hey there, Mike Barbanica, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Antioch. Okay, let's do your Wednesday morning wrap up. This is the council meeting that occurred October 11th, 2022. The mayor was not present. He did zoom in for one vote, and I ran the meeting as the Mayor Pro Tem. We go right to item 5. Item 5 were presentations. I recommend going online and looking at them. Two very interesting presentations. One of those presentations was the Antioch Veterans Memorial Park. Well, the first one was Build Antioch 2022 Design Studio. Watch that one. Very interesting. Next one, Antioch Veterans Memorial Park. This is something that I requested come back in front of council, where the veterans were able to come in and give an actual presentation to their idea for this park. I believe, and I support this, and that's why I asked for it to come back with this presentation. I believe that this is going to be a beautiful park, and we as a council voted, or we gave staff direction, I should say, to move forward with working with the veterans to try to establish this park. It'll be across from the police department on some vacant land that's their city-owned vacant land. Next one, consent calendar. Consent calendar is, for lack of a better term, the easiest way to understand that is if you have the day-to-day city business. This is how it was explained to me when I first came onto council. You have the day-to-day city business. Those things that are the day-to-day things that are kind of, for lack of a better term, routine. And there's some criteria as to what can go in there. Those are lumped in one consent calendar, and we vote as a block on those. If there are things that you want pulled, any member wants pulled, or the public wants to make comment, we pull those out, and then we deal with those individually like any other item on the agenda. I pulled item F and item G. Item F, rent stabilization. Why did I pull this, and why am I against this? I'm against this because the state of California already has AB 1482. We have some of the toughest laws in the United States regarding rent increases. It wasn't good enough for some of the folks on the council. What we had to do was we had to make it much more stringent. You had some people that were out of state, especially out of state landlords, corporate landlords, that were abusing the system. I have no doubt, in my opinion, abusing the system. And as a result of that, what this council has done is lumped in many private landlords with those. So instead of being able to very easily keep up with inflation, cost of living, et cetera, when they have to raise rent, it is drastically reduced. What's this going to do to your neighborhoods? Well, in my opinion, what this is going to do is make local landlords say, sorry, can't afford the new project. Sorry, can't afford to paint the house. Sorry, can't afford to fix the front yard. Think about what that's going to do to your neighborhood and the rentals in your neighborhood. This did not need to happen. This is something where, let's say you as a private citizen save up money and you say, I want to invest in my hometown. I'm going to buy a rental in my hometown. You now could fall in the situation of not being able to afford to do all of those things. So why would you invest here? A lot of landlords are calling me and saying, we're either selling, which the majority of the council said, oh, that'll never happen. Really? It is. Or they're taking their money elsewhere. I had one landlord who called me who said, I specifically have always invested in Antioch. I will invest in Antioch no more. And this is a landlord that really takes care of their home for their rentals, their rentals for their tenants. And so what a disservice that was done to private landlords with this. The mayor did zoom in. It was a 3-2 vote. The mayor, Councilmember Wilson, Councilmember Torres Walker voting yes. Myself, Councilmember Ogerchuk voting against. Item G, AB 361, which is zooming into meetings. That is no longer going to be applicable in the city of Antioch. We did away with that last night. I pulled the item because I didn't believe that we should. It was designed for COVID. We're not wearing masks in council meetings. We're not socially distancing. We're not forced to stay home. So it was now being used for convenience. Yeah, we're driving down the street. We want to jump on for a vote. Let's call in. Okay, I want to vote for this one. Now I'm off. Boop, on to the next one. Ridiculous. That is now gone. Thank goodness. All right, next item. Let me get off consent. Next item, Parks and Recreation Commission appointment. The way this works is the mayor nominates people, supposed to interview them and nominate them, brings it to the council, and then we are read their bio. We get to know them a little bit, and then we determine if we want to vote them in. The city clerk advised me yesterday that the mayor wasn't going to be at the meeting and that she had not been left any of the bios. These folks had been sitting there. There was one in particular that had been sitting there with their child for hours. I found it ridiculous that we were going to make this person sit there and say, sorry, nobody left the bio, so we're going to have to postpone this. So what I asked them to do was come up, introduce themselves, and speak, and then the council could make a determination if they wanted to move forward. They did. Everybody did. And this person did get voted in as the new Parks and Recreation Commission appointee, or on the commission. Next one, item 8, ShotSpotter technology presentation. It's an interesting presentation. I recommend jump online and look at this. Also look at the other two presentations. Really, really interesting. ShotSpotter is where there's a shooting in town. There's microphones that pick it up and it can pinpoint, and it goes right to the officer's patrol vehicles. It goes to dispatch, and they can pinpoint right where those shots are coming from. We as council gave direction to staff to move forward with exploring it further, getting pricing, etc. Very interesting presentation. I recommend jumping online, go to the city website, look at the meetings, click on it, fast forward if you want, right to it. It was probably around 10 o'clock last night, so it was about 3 hours into the meeting, and very interesting, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. Item 9, discussion of proposals to increase street sweeping. Basically, what we're doing is they're going to come back to us with researching some more information on street sweeping. I believe we do need street sweeping, but my concern is the price tag that the city came in with was enormous. And so the feedback that I'm getting in my district is people don't want to spend an enormous amount of money. And what they're going to research is with this pricing, and I asked the city attorney there, is this something that we need to go back to the voters? And if so, we should go back to the voters. This is your money. You should tell us how to spend the money and if this is what you as voters want. So I'm hoping that if in fact we're looking at spending an additional, I don't know, 700 grand or whatever it is, that you as the voters can decide that this is what you want to do or you don't want to do. But it shouldn't be, my opinion, it shouldn't just be the 4 or 5 of us up there making this decision. Okay, council communications at the end. I requested at the end a special meeting that we as council would come back and specifically have a meeting to address the issues that are currently happening with the mayor and censure the mayor if that's what the council decided to do. For me to call this special meeting, I needed 3 members, myself and 2 others. So I polled everybody that was up there. Councilmember Ogerchuk agreed to it, and Councilmember Wilson agreed to it. It was scheduled for the 18th at 7 p.m. What I wanted was for the council to be able to review the information that the County Board of Supervisors considered when they settled their claim for sexual harassment against or for the Los Monones Community Health District. And if that were the case, that council could review it and decide if in fact we were to censure the mayor. This morning, I got a phone call from the city attorney who informed me that I no longer have a majority with that myself and council member Ogerchuk are still in agreement that we need a special meeting, but council member Wilson is not and will not make that meeting on the 18th. I did request the city attorney clarify if there are any other members, which would be council member Torres Walker or the mayor, who will in fact authorize or be our third vote for a special meeting, bringing that in so we can review and look to see if we're going to censure the mayor. I do believe personally that the mayor should agree to this. Why? If there is nothing to hide, and if you want transparency to the public, agree to the meeting. Agree to the meeting and let the public see and let the council vote. But really let the public see where all the members of this council stand. You as the public, in my opinion, have the right to know where we all stand with these issues. So unfortunately, it was scheduled. I had an out-of-state trip planned. I started to cancel the trip, and luckily the city attorney got to me before I made the final cancellation, because I was going to cancel my trip to stay for the meeting. But I was told I no longer have that majority, And so I have requested that the city attorney poll all council members and see if I have that third vote to call for a special meeting. I'll let you know either way. Hope this helps as far as your Wednesday morning wrap up. Mike Barbanica, Councilmember District 2, Mayor Pro Tem City of Antioch. Very soon I will be rotating back out of the Mayor Pro Tem position. It changes every year, and I will be just continuing on for the next 2 years as Councilmember District 2. So for now, Mayor Pro Tem for another, I don't know, month and a half, and we will let you know how things progress. Thanks very much. Have a great day.